Alright, so I have talked to William. I think we're pretty set on like a good final two. Is what we've talked about. Last night when we were walking, we were getting wood with Gracie and Luke, and we were like, oh, look at that! Like this, Luke was like, I feel like this would be a good final four, and all of us were really on the same page. We're like, yes, like yes. So I'm feeling really good about that. Camp was great though. I love our whole tribe. The vibe was super nice. We got fire. We had tarp. I was super worried. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to fall asleep all night. I was a little stressed, and then I just woke up this morning and I had knocked out like all night. And it was really nice. I got good sleep. We had an apple and an orange this morning. It was good. Oh, we're gonna go into it though. Like, we had a bad night. I'm sure they told you already. We're gonna go into it and be like, oh, so bad. We didn't have fire. Like, kind of get the tarp up and like try to be like a little bit under the radar because we lost yesterday. But I think we're feeling pretty good working all together so far. Honestly, I have no idea if they're putting something together. I feel like not as four. If there's some of them doing something together, maybe three of them. Um, I don't know about Louis. I would like to get Louis and maybe get a majority on a five, personally. But I would have to talk to the rest of them about it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're not. I don't think the four of them have a four going on.
So you just said you want to talk with Louie. Why haven't you already?
We just haven't had the chance yet. And I'm today's like the first. I don't want to come in too strong.
Sure.
Just really excited about everything. So I came in wanting to play like a very loyal game, very loyal to my people. Like my people have my back, like you have my back, like that's it. But the people that I'm like not working with, like I'm willing to play. I'm willing to play hard. I'm willing to come in and play hard, but I definitely want to keep strong with my people. I wanted to start off with a good buddy to stay to the end, and like a good 3 or 4, and it's happening. Oh God, so cool. Game's always changing, You never know what the game will throw at you today. I feel like I'll be feeling good. I don't know. I might not be. I want to be feeling good at the end of the day. So does everyone. I don't want to get too comfortable. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to keep an eye out for everything. Everyone always gets messed up when they're feeling too comfortable, which is totally not what I'm trying to feel. So I think I'll try and keep an eye out the whole time, watch everything, but not be too paranoid. I feel that although we lost yesterday, I think we'll be good today. I'm feeling good about today. Hopefully. I'm really excited about the people on the tribe. The vibe is super nice. Like, I'm so happy. Everything is super chilled out. Everyone is super together. Like, no one's too, there's no big alphas, which is really nice. Yeah, it's been good, I feel. I'm worried that, I don't know, I'm just worried. You're always worried.
It's just paranoia.
Yeah, like a little bit paranoid. I don't know, I'm worried to come off too small, too young, I don't want that to be a problem. We were talking about this yesterday, but I don't know. I'm feeling good.
Well, if you're worried about it yesterday, how do you think they perceive you now? Are
Well,
you
I was
worried
definitely more worried about it when I came into the game. I'm feeling a lot better about it now. People aren't being like too small, like no one's done. I think we all have very big respect for each other on the tribe, and it's really nice.
Well, given a second chance, and again, I wasn't prepared for it, but I was open to it and thought, yeah, just bring my stuff, and if I'm needed, and I was. So it's not like I've been, CrossFit or anything like that. It's like, well, you know what? You bring yourself with you, and I figured my social skills, I was going to rely on my social skills to, just discuss, Survivor with people and get to know people, and so, whereas last time I think I went in and I was you know, impressed with the former Survivor players, and you know, everybody wanted to align with them, and then that's what ended up, you know, ended up getting burned by. And so this time I was just going to be like, you know, not really judging on our personalities. I'm just going to be like letting people, you know, talk. I was just going to be a listener and ask people questions about themselves. And so I just approached it different. And so knowing I didn't have a lot of time to prepare. I was, you know, pulled out some of the old puzzles that I had practiced with before, but just thought, you know, I'm going to be a listener and approachable and see how that takes. So, you know, the three guys I was with from the get-go are just fabulous. I mean, we went through a lot to ultimately get, you know, to the box and get the combination. We were last, but once we knew we were last, we're like, let's just take, you know, whatever time it takes to get this combination. And we all worked together, you know, did a component, and it was just really rewarding. So the fact that we had the tarp and the flint, even though that we lost that challenge for the camp yesterday, we felt like, you know what, look, we have a tarp, we'll make fire. And so we did, and so it was just, it's a great group. I did recognize William, and you know, from being a cameraman before, and you know, while we were all kind of gathering stuff, and you know, we were surface level getting to know people, but it was my intent to tell them that I had played previously, because, you know, you know, it's best to hear it from me that it's the truth, as opposed to, you know, acting like I'm keeping a secret, or I'm, you know, perceived as not trustworthy. So, you know, the three girls went to the bathroom, and that left the five guys. Well, William tried to make it that, you know, he knew me and I knew him, and that he wasn't going to kind of like rat me out. But no sooner did the three girls that we went to the bathroom, that William told the guys that I had played previously. And so I had two different guys, Justin and Jason, both tell me individually. And so, and you know, they both kind of thought like, oh, that was kind of, you know, that was kind of weird that he did that. So Jason, when we were doing the tarp, you know, he's like, hey, Survivor dress lady, and you know, and oh, I've watched your, you know, your former season, and I said, you know, I'm gonna tell everybody I played previously. I just was waiting for the opportunity for us to stand. So I did. I just said, hey, you guys, I want to let you know I played previously. I was, you know, voted out 9th out of 24 and didn't make the merge. And, you know, and hey, I'm known for my Survivor dress. And so I was just trying to be upfront. But then Justin told me afterwards that what William had said. So my guard's up with him, because I feel like he ratted me out, you know, and the fact that he did it, and two different, you know, people told me that he did it. So yeah, we've discussed, you know, like, okay, if today is, you know, just rewards, and so there's kind of been some sidebar discussions on strategy. People seem to be under the assumption that, oh, we're going to mix it up again. So, like, we don't really have to, you know, we'll all come back together again, you know, but we're not going to go to, you know, tribal with this group intact. And I said, you know, you never know. And so, so I've had conversations, well, so William pulled Jason and I aside, and he's like, you know, the three of us, because we kind of know this event, and you know, we should stick together because we might be targets, but we should stick together. And then but then, you know, I've had conversations with Justin, and I was kind of with Justin, like, you know, and we like, you know, Gracie and then Louis. So the dynamics, I think right now, to be honest with you, I think right now the bottom, you know, is going to be Jason or William. And what we're going to do is we're going to gauge it on challenge performance because, William might be really strong, so we might need to keep him. But, there's so that was just basic conversation that Justin and I had, and then I know Justin had talked with Gracie. So, I haven't. I mean, the two girls are great. I haven't had a chance to talk strategy with them, and it's mainly been like William, Jason, Justin, and I that have had conversations. So Justin was. I mean, he was on my original four, and he and I both kind of said, we like our original four, but again, not wanting to get totally boxed in, which was my downfall, I think, last time. I'm like when William approached Jason and I, it's like, yeah, that sounds good. You always just say yes. But when the but Jason, Justin, and I talked, and Jason said, well, I don't really like. He was leaning towards like Gracie. He's like, well, she hasn't really talked to me. But then Justin's like, well, I like Gracie, and we've had great conversations. So you can see kind of this division here going on, and so I think with I think Jason's great, and but there might be just that line in the sand, and I think that I would stay probably loyal to Justin. I like Louis a lot, so I think my target would be William, not for revenge. It's just like, bitch, she's helped me out, So I feel like that wasn't your story to tell, that was mine, and I didn't even get, barely had a chance to go to the porta potty and come back, and none of us had really had a chance to just, we talked and walked. One interesting thing about yourself, and so it's just that's the stuff that comes around in a campfire chat, and it's I just didn't feel it was William's place to say that. So but he's talking a lot, and I think he is talking himself out of the game, because it's always his experiences and his but he's he's young, he's 23, and the world's all about him at that age. When you get to my age, 54, it's like, don't talk about me. No, but no, he's a great kid. It's just that people are gonna get voted out, and I'm just trying to do as long as it's not me, and so I want to, just try to roll with the flow. I want to play not to lose in the first part, and then play to win in the second part.
Yeah, I feel like there was this moment where we're like, man, everyone loves everyone. This is awesome. And then I looked down at the fire, and when I looked back up, like, everyone's in the woods. Like, completely scattered in the woods, and my heart just starts pounding of like, okay, it's happening now. Like, no more kumbaya, we're doing it. And so I, like, run in the woods, and then there's 3 people right here, and I hear this, I don't know if she can hear me, and I look up, and we make eye contact, and then the 3 scatter, and then at one point, who was it? It was I don't know. There's probably 9 alliances right now. I think I've heard every single combination of people right now, and it's like it's real quick. So it's like, hey, you, me, Justin, you, me, Luke. It's just like, I feel like every time I talk to someone, it's like a new 3 or 4. So at first I panicked when I saw everyone split. I panicked, and I went up to someone and I was like, what are y'all thinking? What are you feeling? And they like shut down. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna let them create the chaos, and then I'll slide in somewhere else. And so once I stepped back is when I was approached about 3 times. And so I think I'm taking the step back and watching and waiting and picking up what people are dropping. Yeah, I think there's 2 people. William was really quick about promising me final 2. So I want to go to the end with you. You seem really smart. And that'd be great. So I said, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then, let's see, Justin was quick about calling me out and talking about doing a threesome with someone else. But I actually feel really good about Justin. I don't know if he's going to be one of the people that just has made an alliance with truly every single person. I kind of get that feeling about William, that he's making an alliance with everyone. But so far I feel the best about Justin. But we're just going to write it out and see how that goes. Right now, keeping options open, saying yes to all alliances, and then seeing what happens. Lewis is hilarious. I feel like I'm constantly laughing with Lewis, so I just kind of want to stay around him for his one-liners. Like, he is the best at them. I feel like we have like all of our episodes, like the name of our episodes just from last night. I feel like Luke is really solid. I feel like I would like working with him. He seems like a good person to work with. Becca, I feel like we're the most similar. I mean, she's 9 years younger, but we both like athletic things and similar age, and there's only 3 girls in the tribe, so I connect most easily with her because we're more in the same phase of life, I guess. I don't know. I think the gender split doesn't matter right now. I mean, there was one time the 3 girls went to the bathroom, which was like we couldn't prevent it. It just had to happen. So who knows what happened when we left? But it seems like, I mean, even just passing for confessionals, someone was saying that Jason wants to do Jason, Justin, and the 3 girls, and us be the top 5, and the others be on the bottom. So,
Interested in that?
yeah, I said yes. That sounds great. So, which one sticks? We'll see. We're all kind of banking on and hoping that we're not voting each other out. So we're not hoping that we switch, but we're like, I don't know how realistic it is that we're going to be the ones voting each other out. We kind of feel like there's going to be a swap. Totally. I had this game plan coming in that I'm going to be someone that flies under the radar at first. Like, I want to play a hard game, but at first, like, too many people create waves, and I'm going to let them kind of fall on their own sword. And so I'm already seeing people getting frustrated and annoyed by other players. So I'm going to kind of see if that can play out. And then once I get in a more stable position and figure out who I actually trust, then I can play more risky and do bigger moves. But right now it's too unsettled. We're only having literally 20-second probably 10-second conversations. So I have no idea what's going to stick and what's not. But I'm willing to go big. Yeah, I feel like the big one right now is William. He talks a lot, and it's great. He has good stories. But I've definitely seen Justin do the eyes or the oh, wow, it just keeps on going. So I feel like the excessive talking isn't going so well. But he's very positive, so it helps morale. So I'm okay with it. He can keep talking. I would like to be in a solid 5, I guess, and feel really good about at least one person. And I just hope we do better today in our challenges. I don't know after last night how we're gonna do as a whole team. But yeah, I just hope that we do really well in challenges today. Yeah, I'm trying to I feel like challenges are gonna be one of my strengths. Like, I feel like I have all this, like, most of the skills needed for the challenges. Like, I can do puzzles, I can do speed, I can do strength, I can do the agility part, whereas some of the tribe doesn't seem like we have as much strength or agility, but it usually always comes down to the puzzles anyways, and detail things. So I think in that regard we're going to be really good. It's just kind of picking ourselves up off the ground from last night, because that was a bummer. Even though we had everything we needed, we had our tarp and our fire, but it was a bummer to be the first losers of the game.
We didn't really talk strategy as much as you would think, which is kind of crazy. We were thinking that there'd be a lot more, like, switching around and stuff, because Will and I are both have been on this side of it, and also Donna, so we're explaining to the tribe like how this is all changing around, and that's not really what we're seeing. So we were all waiting for something that never happened, and we're all like Upan strong, you know what I mean? We're trying to, but reality is that we all have our little subgroups. We have made an alliance, but it's not like a very tight official one. I'm tighter with Donna than I am with Will,
Okay.
and I would follow that one. And honestly, we're talking about voting out Will already, because
When you say we, just the two of you?
we also threw Justin in that. So Justin had a short conversation with us, and I was also trying to get Donna to pull the two girls in, Becca and Gracie.
Okay.
So that's ideally that's where I'd like to go, and I'm trying to get it so like Will's on one side and I'm also on his side, and Donna and the girls are on my side, and
So you'll be in between?
so I won't be a target. Right now, he talks so much, like he's like the focus of the group, and it's hard when he's like taking control and if of everything that we say and do and stuff. But I'm probably the same way, so I guess it's the alpha thing going.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. Yes, I was not expecting to be with people that have been in the game before that I knew. And so when it came down to being exposed for being a volunteer last year, I wasn't expecting that right away. I was expecting to be able to come out with that myself.
Yep.
But because there's people in the game, I didn't want to feel like I'm hiding things from my tribe. So that's why I didn't feel comfortable like I was expecting to. Luke and Louie are the guys that are... I haven't tried to really form anything with them. If it came down to it, I would try and vote them out or say that I would vote them out to keep Will. So that's why I'm not trying to buddy up with them, so that I don't have the tight connections with them. Donna and I we're seen out together a lot. Will knows that, he's a game player, so he sees us as a couple, we'll say. So that's the other reason why I have to...
Do you think the rest of the tribe sees you that way?
I'm sure they do, but I don't know if that's going to bother them, because Donna and I could basically team up with a couple other people. I wasn't expecting to be together this long to worry about it, so I now have to worry about it because we've been together as a tribe so long. But I'm sure after today things will work out differently when we start seeing how people do in challenges, where we can actually talk if they're having a good game versus not. So I think that's going to make a big difference. I don't have a lot of endurance, so I'm worried that if we have some kind of a challenge and I don't show well, that I will be eliminated because I'm weak that way. But I'm strong and physical, so if they need me for physical stuff like around camp, I help set up the shelter pretty easily, and we have a great shelter.
Looks good.
The fire, we had the flint, and we got that thing going like maybe 5 minutes of working on it. It was crazy, which I wasn't part of it, and I like turned around after I finished doing the shelter and it was done. So, but we're as a tribe saying that we're not doing well with the shelter or the fire, so that the other tribes don't know that that's happening. There's one thing that I found curious. There were 3 white rocks away from camp in a site, and there was nothing inside the 3 white rocks. And I searched the area, and I came back to camp and brought the rocks back, and there were 5 people at camp at that time. And I explained to them, hey, I looked, and I didn't, it seemed unusual to see these 3 white rocks. And then when the rest of the group came back, I told them about the white rocks. So that's the only thing that was weird to me in the game. I was expecting to try and find an idol like that, but that was the only thing, really.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, I think I've pretty much formed a bond with everybody except for probably Becca. She's the one I've probably talked to the least. William approached me pretty quickly around keeping each other in the loop, whatever that means. But right away, I felt a connection with Gracie and with Lewis. So I kind of arranged for us to meet, and we talked about that. I basically said, like, I feel connected to the 2 of you. I want it to be kind of us 3. And we can build upon that. which they both said they're in. Who knows if that's actually true, right? Too early to say. But I feel connected to those two. Kind of in the meantime, I've been just kind of observing other little things. And so we were sleeping, and I kind of like was half asleep, and I thought I heard William say like, "Oh, I have an idol," like whispering to the people that were still awake. And so, of course, like then we had like this tree thing that fell down, so we all kind of woke up and started like talking and moving around and stuff. And so we decided we were going to collect more firewood in the middle of the night, which is an interesting thing to do. But kind of Luke and I went off, and I was like, "Did I hear that right? Like, did he say he had an idol?" And Luke was like, "No, I don't think so." So I might have misheard it, but there was a little bit of idol paranoia for a quick minute or two. But kind of amongst that conversation, Luke was like, "Well, I really like you. I really like Lewis. Like, I'd like to work with you guys." So it might be now Lewis, Gracie, Luke, and myself. But then this morning, we noticed that Jason and Donna had been gone for a while. They supposedly just went to the porta parties and got a little turned around. But we noticed they were gone for a while, so I went to kind of look for them. And as I approached them, Jason, like right off the bat, was like, "Who do you like and who do you want out?" Kind of right. I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Well, I really like Gracie. I really like Lewis." But I like everyone. So I'm like, whatever, right? Trying to just kind of stay even. And he's like, "Well, I think it's you, Donna, and the girls. Like, let's just you and I and the girls." And I was like, interesting. Okay. So at least to my face, Jason's proposing himself, Donna, myself, Gracie, and Becca. And I was like, the only person I haven't really talked to is Becca, so I don't know. So I didn't like commit to it, but I was open. And then later this morning, Jason was somewhere, and Donna and I were collecting more firewood. Firewood's the really only way to talk to anybody around here, so just finding a path and collecting firewood. So Donna and I were in the original 4 group at the beginning with Lewis and Luke. And so I just asked her, I was like, "Do you trust Jason?" Like, they somewhat have a relationship because Donna's done this before and Jason's been a volunteer. So they know of each other at least, so there's some rapport there. And so I was just asking, do you trust him? Do you think this is a real thing? And she seems a little on the fence. And again, I don't know if that's to my face, or not. I don't know, if she might think other things. But I just kind of made it clear to her, like, I don't know about that. And, like, I want to stay true to our original 4 group, which I don't know if that's even true. But I really like Lewis. I really like Gracie. And I'm hoping that that's kind of the long-term plan. And if we bring in Luke, if we bring in Donna as another option for numbers, then great. But I think it's still too early to tell, and we're all kind of at this place where we feel like it's going to get changed up before we really have to vote anybody out. So we're all kind of, I think, being non-committal, but talking a bunch just so there are options should we have that need to vote. So I think it's the same. I think it's the same answer for both. I feel good that I'm connected to everyone, but I also feel not good that I'm connected to everyone. So I think it's good that I have relationships with everybody except for Becca. I've at least had many conversations. I obviously have the path that I want to go, but I at least feel like a little bit connected to just about everyone. But that can also be a double-edged sword, right? So I think there's dangers to that too, and at some point I'm going to have to kind of pick a side or make something happen. So I think we're all in agreement that, like, William seems very aggressive and perhaps is the right person to go first. But he's also one of our stronger members. He's pretty fast. And I think he'd be a good shield. Should we kind of get mixed up, I think people would target him before they'd target me. So keeping him around might not be a bad idea, but there's some comfort in knowing that the group might have a consensus on a first person to go if we need to. So I think I knew I'd be pretty good at building relationships, but I didn't know I'd have so many this early. So that, I think, has me a little bit worried. But we'll see how that goes. It's funny, I came in kind of being worried about being an outsider coming from Boston, but our team is very diverse. Like, I was expecting a lot of people from the Midwest to be here. But, people from California, New York, New Hampshire, like, it's a pretty big mix. So all those kind of insecurities about being an outsider have kind of gone away. I think my only other insecurity is that I snore a little bit, and they decided to point that out. so that might get me voted out. I think the only person at this point that's kind of rubbing me the wrong way is William. He's just very aggressive, talks a lot, tells a lot of stories, and just is, I think, trying to, be a leader, just too early and for the, just constantly obsessing with keeping the fire going. When we're probably gonna have to put it out when we leave the camp. So why are we gonna waste a bunch of firewood right now? We don't need it at this moment. So what's the deal? But he's obsessed with that, and just he's very aggressive about things. Even just the way he approached me kind of so early in the game, very aggressive. I appreciate aggressive. I just don't know about this. It's just really early. So he's the only one that's kind of on my radar in terms of being problematic strategically. I love Donna. I think, and she's contributed so much in terms of in the kind of the group challenge yesterday. She had really came in on the combinations, really helped building fire, gathers wood. She's awesome. I think she will be a little bit of a physical liability. We noticed that in the kind of running around with the maps. It was a little tough for her to keep up, but we love her, and she's an awesome energy to have around, so I don't know that that's going to sway us too much. We'll just kind of have to see how the challenges go.
Yeah, well, the game is certainly afoot because there have been rumblings, and I think everyone's a little bit scared to break off into smaller groups because I think the people who begin to do that are going to start being targeted. There's been some connection between myself, Justin, Gracie. The three of us want to stick together, or so they've told me. And and that's within a bigger alliance, I think consisting of also Becca, Luke, and William, leaving Donna and Jason on the outside. Just because the two of them have kind of been Sketchville. That being said, everyone's been kind of together for the most part, so any strategy talk that has been happening very quickly, and I don't know if I've been privy to everything. In fact, I know I haven't been privy to everything because Justin has had to fill me in on things about Jason apparently trying to pull the girls together. And if I have my say, that won't be happening because I want Jason out of here. He seems to have knowledge on everything, and he will be certainly be the first one to tell you about it. So I haven't really connected with him very well, and not anything personally, but I can just tell we are oil and water, so I've just been keeping myself away from it so I don't get myself into any hot water there. And he's the first one to come in and make a group talk about something uncomfortable. Hey guys, I just went into the woods and found these three rocks stacked like a pyramid. That's sketchy, right? I looked around, but I didn't see anything. Isn't that sketchy? Let's have a group discussion. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, Survivor isn't played on group discussion. So I don't know if that's something that him and Donna disappeared this morning and were gone for way too long for anyone's comfort. So I don't know if they're planning something or chit-chatting about some kind of scheme to make us all paranoid, but I just want to keep myself on my toes because anything can happen, and who knows, maybe I'm the one who is on the outs this entire time, and I'm not counting myself out just yet because it really does feel like the beginning stages. I'm most confident that I'm well liked by everybody, which kind of also is something that can be seen as negative because I have to be careful about that. That could be seen as threatening as well. But I feel like I do have a good rapport with everybody in the tribe, regardless of how I feel about them in this social game aspect. I've been making everybody laugh and keeping everybody entertained, so I do feel strongly that I'm at least serving as some sort of happiness for the collective tribe. I've been really itching to break off into smaller groups and kind of get it locked down. That bigger alliance that I've talked about has never met. It's just what I want to happen, so I'm going to try and make it happen. And within that pecking order, I want to be able to solidify where we're going to go if Gracie and Justin truly do want to be a 3 within a 6. And, you know, you have to keep your options open. So that's why I haven't been dismissing of anybody, because a swap could happen, or a half hour might go by and I'd be like, you know what, Justin really is annoying me. Maybe I do want to work with Donna, or maybe I do want to work with Jason. And it's really about figuring out the social dynamics, the smart strategic move, the smart emotional moves. You have to be able to factor it all in, and I think everyone is still figuring out the puzzle of how this tribe works socially and strategically. Great question. Glad you asked. So I think in order to make those conversations happen, somebody just needs to rip the Band-Aid off and go off for a talk. And I'm afraid to rip that Band-Aid off, because I feel like the first person to rip off that Band-Aid is going to be public enemy number 1. But if it gets to become some kind of dire situation, maybe I'll have to be it. But I do think Donna and Jason have been tugging at the Band-Aid. So maybe if I could just plant some seeds in people's ears that they've been ripping the Band-Aids, or make people feel more paranoid about it, I can push them out and bring others in. So the next time the two of them are alone, that might be the opportunity that I have. No, I wouldn't redo anything yet. I would take my shirt off before going into the swamp water. That's what I would redo, because I've just had soggy, wet shirt. I would maybe collect more firewood. I don't know. We've been acting like a bunch of beavers. All we've been doing is just, we get up, stand up, wood, 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 wood. Get up, stand up, wood, 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 chat, chat, what? Wood, 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 chat, chat, what? So, I don't want to be seen as somebody who doesn't pull their weight around camp, but there's only so much firewood we can collect. And we'll need something to do if we're going to go break off into smaller groups. So hopefully the beaver activity calms down. I mean, stay tuned. Anything is possible, but I'm starting to see some of the way other people are reacting to the other tribe members here. For example, William talks a lot. He talks, he's nonstop talking, which is great, because he's a great storyteller. It's less that I have to talk, and less that, you know, puts something on my back, but he just chats and chats and chats, and I've already begun to see some people like giving like the eye, like, okay, all right, here's another story, here's another story. So I've been waiting to see whether I'm going to use that to my advantage or not, and see how other people are reacting. I think that's where my next steps are going to be, how other people are reacting to other people.
I just get so tired of like this kumbaya stuff, because like everyone's saying that they like, oh, like we're so awesome, this is the best tribe ever. I'm like, okay, let's like get over ourselves for a second and just like face reality. We might go to tribal council in these tribes, we don't know for sure. We're probably saying we're not, but like there's people that rub me the wrong way in this tribe. I got 10 minutes of sleep last night. Like I'm not gonna be like getting along with everybody perfectly. Like Jason is like such an alpha male control freak, and I'm just like not really my cup of tea. He's just like really anal about things. Like he found like these rocks in the woods, like these rocks were in a triangular formation, and it's like, hey, I found these rocks, and just so you know, there's not like an idol there or anything, but I just wanted you guys to see where I found these rocks, so you know that it's not fishy. Like, it's fishy that you told us. Like, what is, like, you just found some rocks in the woods and you think there was like an idol here? That doesn't make sense. And then William, sweet William, just talks way too much. He told this totally pointless story about Walmart last night that went on for hours, I felt like, and that just really didn't have any point. But I think I mentioned last night that my alliance was Becca, Gracie, and William, which thankfully, like, the order worked out where, like, I could talk to Gracie for a minute in between coming to Confessionals, because I hadn't had a chance to, like, talk to her one-on-one at all, and she's, like, super excited about the four of us working together, because it was just kind of a thing where we were all kind of, like, standing in the same area, like, gathering wood, and I was like, hey, I really like the four of us. I get good vibes from all of you. Like, you're my favorite people to be around. And they were all like, yeah, same, but then we just have time to talk, because no one's really gone off to talk, it feels like. But yeah, so my top four is, I have a final two with William, and then Gracie and Becca are obviously, like, tight. So that's the four that I want to work with the most. Well, it's not 4-4, it's Donna and Jason on the bottom. and we all, I mean, like I said, everybody gets along, and especially we really love Donna because she's just like really unique, fun, like she has a lot of like weird sets of skills. It seems like she notices things nobody else does, and we all really like her. It's just, like even yesterday when we were doing the challenges, she was, when we were jogging, she was struggling a little bit just because she's a little bit older, which is fine. But when there's two people that kind of stick out a little bit and everybody else is, I don't know, a little more fun, young, that's just how the cookie crumbles. I mean, just my general overall feeling of Survivor strategy that has to suit your personality. So I try to be a little bit self-deprecating, a little bit play naive. I didn't tell anybody that Courtney played, my sister played last year and won, even though everybody's very familiar. Like, obviously William was on the film crew last year. But I don't think anybody's put it together, and hopefully it wouldn't matter even if they did. But I've definitely, lied when I didn't really want to. Like, Jason's like, you guys can lie or be honest about this, but if any of you played a live reality game before, and everyone else was shaking their head no, except Donna, who had already told us that she played Survival Challenge before. And so everyone was saying no, so I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't either, even though I have played one. So, and there's somebody in this game who I played that live reality game with, and so it is a little bit concerning that this Kumbaya tribe, if one person is found out to be a liar, that could be me, if it somehow gets exposed down the line. But I really don't think it will. But my strategy is, I've lied more already than I really wanted to. Survivor, or Adventure Cocopelli with Anthony on, I think he's on Blue. And I got third and he got fourth, and it was just kind of a messy vote. The way that he got voted out was basically his own fault. It was like a 2-1-1 vote at Final Four, and it basically screwed both of us. And he's like the most charismatic, nice guy ever. Like everybody, he's probably the most loved person from that group that I played with. So he's a really big social threat, but I don't think he's a strategic threat. So I don't really want to work with him, but if it's like a situation where we're at a swap and you're trying to make a connection with anybody and he's on the swap tribe, we're probably not going to vote each other out right away, but I don't see a long-term working relationship with Anthony. Well, Jason told us that Bob's son is playing, which Jason's been involved with, I guess, this whole thing, like volunteering and stuff. And so he sees him as a really big threat because Bob's son also was involved in production. I don't even know the poor guy's name. It's just Bob's son. And then I know of Lance. I've never met Lance, but I know that he's won like 2 live reality games. I know he was like on production at Reelfoot. I know like live reality games are like a huge part of his life, and he knows everything about them. So I really don't want him to get far because it seems like he would be a very big threat. And I don't know really how to expose him without exposing myself. Like, I can't really say, like, oh, trust me, this guy's bad news, because, like, how do you know? I don't really want to delve into, like, how much I know about games. I kind of have, like I said, it's been really hard to talk to people one-on-one, because we're kind of in a small space, and, like, Donna and Jason would go off for, like, they went off for, like, half an hour last night by themselves. But, like, everybody else is, like, smart enough to not do that. But I did have like a brief moment with Justin and Louie, who we started together with Donna. And I'm just kind of like, hey, I think I would be cool sticking together with the original boys. I would like to make a final 2 with Justin. He seems to be holding his cards close to his chest. He's not a loud, bubbly personality. He seems like he's gonna play it cool. Which I appreciate. And I don't think he's gonna get voted out early. He just seems like a nice guy who's not gonna do anything crazy yet. But I don't think he likes William, or he's trying to target William. He asked me, I think it was really early this morning, he's like, does William have an idol? I'm like, I don't think so. Like, why would you, like, is there something I don't know? It's like, oh, well, I heard you two talking, and I heard you say, oh, yeah, that's awesome, when you were talking to him. I was like, that could have been any number of things. Like, what is that? Like, and he's like, oh, I thought I heard him say idol. I'm like, well, I don't really want William and Justin to go after each other because I want to. Those are like my two final twos that I want to have.
I gotta say, I always kind of like I'm like viewing this game as like a game of poker, right? Everyone has a chance to win, but everyone gets dealt a different hand. It can change throughout the game, and just because you have the best hand doesn't mean you win, and just because you have the worst hand doesn't mean you're out. However, I felt like I just got dealt the best hand possible with this tribe. There is no like alpha personalities. There's no one looking to be a clear leader, which is exactly what I wanted. I want a nice team camaraderie kind of spirit, everyone who's looking to be a team player and work together. And yeah, there's just so good vibes throughout the entire camp. Everyone's a hard worker. Like when I said that, hey, just so you guys know, like I'm a busybody. I'm going to collect firewood till it's dark, and I had 5 other people join me. Like everyone's been so busy working. We've been such a good team working together. We've had so much laughs. It's literally couldn't be better. Like the tribe life right now. As far as outside of just the nuanced stuff of that, strategic wise, last time I did a confessional, I said that I had talked to Becca for a final 2 situation. That is like baseline off of what I've built now. So I told Ryan that what I wanted to do was to talk to as many people one-on-one as possible. I want to get on their good side. I want to ask them how can I help them in their strategy. I'm not having any ride or dies in this game. I'm not having any final you're my number 2 because I want that to be flexible. I will tell people that all day long, and I want them to think that because that's the traditional style of play. But I'm playing this game for myself to win, and I'm going to choose whatever person has the best options for me. And I'll be as honest as I can in this process, but I'm going to step on some toes, and that's just how the game's played. So originally the only thing I talked about was one-on-one with Becca. But now, once I came to her, and this is the great thing, is I want other people to set up. I don't want to be the person making all the moves. I just want to be there for all the moves. So Becca, at one point, me, Becca, Luke, and Gracie were getting firewood, and immediately Becca was like, guys, I love this 4. Let's make a final 4. And I'm like, yes, I love you guys, and I really do. They're like some of my favorites in the tribe. And like right there, and then everybody was totally committed to a final 4. So I had a final 2 and a final 4 right then and there. Later on, I talked to, who did I talk to next? I talked to Luke alone. We have a lot in common. We're both homeschoolers. We have like religious backgrounds and stuff like that. I was like, yo, I feel like a great connection for you. What do you feel about a final 2? He's like, I'm thinking the same thing, dude. Fist bump, got that final 2. Later, just this morning, I talked to Gracie. It's like, hey, I think you're really smart. I'm like the bronze, you're the brains. I see a good thing happening here, and I like our final 4. But beyond that, I see us being a final 2. Banging out, good idea. She loves it. I've got a final 2 with all of the final 4 in that group. So the overall strategy of this is just being in as many groups as I can, so then I'm just never in the wrong side of things, and I'll just go with the best hand. And unfortunately for the people that are going to get betrayed, they're going to be voted out first, so sorry. Well, I think when it comes to things like the final 2s, people are going to be talking about final 2s with other people. So I'm confident in that side not being talked about. As far as alliances goes, and it's beautifully how it's working out. I told Becca, I was like, hey, just so you know, I want to make it obvious that it's not just us 2 talking about stuff. So I'm going to be talking with other people about things to kind of spread out the thing. And she was like, totally me same. So she's totally cool with that. She knows I'm talking to other people, and that's that. So I'm allowed to do my whole strategy with absolutely no criticism from her. I also pulled Donna and Jason aside. It's like, hey, we all got history with Survival Challenge. We should band together. So because we're they could see us as threats. I don't think the threat level is that big for us, but they could see that, and I think that if we band together, we stand a bigger chance of sticking around for longer. And they were liking that idea as well. And this is the thing I keep doing with people is that look, it's I don't got a lot of stuff right now, but I want to build bonds here. Let's keep each other in a loop. If I find out stuff, I'll let you know. If you find out stuff, you let me know. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. So I'm just here for info. I'm here for all the info I get. I want to know every single alliance that's going on. I want to know all the relationships that's happening. And because when it comes down to it, your biggest asset is going to be trust. If people trust you, you can do whatever you want in this game. And something that kind of goes with that is the knowledge. So if you got those two things, you got knowledge and trust, then you can win this game hands down. And that's what I'm looking to build. And I've done that right from the start. And as far as I can tell, no one else is really talking strategy. And I'm the one pushing all of it while also being the kind of person that's like, I need your help in everything. So I'm not like the strategy guy. I'm just initiating the stuff. It's a good question. One thought that I gave them was a group mentality. I said that I think it's extremely unlikely. I give it a 1% chance that this is the team that we go to tribal council with. I said that there is a very low likelihood that this tribe, as we see right now, will be voting against each other. There is almost definitely going to be some sort of tribe swap or some sort of mix-up. What we should do as a group is we should not worry about any pecking orders and just kind of go with the flow. And when we get tribe swapped, do whatever you can to get to the merge. We get to the merge, hopefully we have a majority, and then we can reunite as an alliance and come back and then pagong everyone out until it's just us and go from there. And everyone really likes that idea because everyone is so tight here. We really love our entire tribe, and it's literally been nothing but happy, like laughs and just good feels. So like a lot of people are game for that plan. So I've given them something as a group mentality to kind of munch on as well. Donna and this is, I'm still working things out. Justin, they has been requested by Donna and Jason that Justin should also be on with us. Like that's cool, like Justin. On the other ones, they're saying like, hey, we should add Louis as our fifth. I'm like that's a good idea. So they're being included. I'm just still working out those final pieces. But I've done so much and not even a full like 12 hours of this game yet. Or no, it's been more than 12 hours. But you know, the way I look at it is that I want to be the safe bet, the guy that you can trust to just be there with stuff. That's why I'm downplaying my social play. I want to see just like that I'm just a challenge guy, right? And I want to push the fact that, you know, I'm a straightforward person who recognizes that social is a big part of this game, but knows that's not a strong point. So I'm looking to help other people's strategy to help me with that side of my gameplay. Immediately going at it that way rather than telling them how to play the game, they're going to be much more receptive to you as a person in this game. So I'm going to be looking for people who are open to that, to building bonds, and then also looking for points of drama. Because then if I basically become the messenger for all these alliances, right? I can spread truths. I could also spread lies, you know? More than likely, they could just believe whatever I say. So if like I decide that like I'm gonna go lean to one way or the other, I could start some drama just by spreading rumors, you know, because they trust me. So I could have fun with it. Honestly, my one thought was that I was building a lot of this stuff of if there's no tribe swap. But then honestly, after all of the alliances that I've got now, I've got like 2 different pecking orders to work with. I'm on the top of all of them. I'm like 3 people's number 2, and I'm gonna build more. So it's like, it's a win-win scenario for me. Whatever this crazy game of Survivor has got for me, I've got a plan for everything, and a solid one at that. I would bet. My biggest fear is that I get swapped with a tribe, and I'm in the minority. Just because that involves the most amount of work, and there's a lot of unpredictabilities. You know, that's something where I want to have to go in and cause drama and break apart the majority. You know,